extraordinary advances in the communication between humans and animals, especially those with dolphins and with owls. But at the forefront of this field is Professor Timothy Fielding.
Good evening.
And his experiments with a bear called Boris. Now, Professor, can Boris really speak as we would understand it?
Oh yes. He can speak a few actual words. Of course, it's been extremely difficult to get him even to this point. When I first caught Boris on the Kamchatka Peninsula must have been 67?
68.
68. There was an awful lot of work to do. It was extremely slow and difficult. I had to do a lot of work with Boris on a sort of one-to-one basis.
If I could just butt in for a second there. Actually, I have done an awful lot of work on this project myself, because frankly, Professor, your teaching methods leave something to be desired. And your diction is unlike that of any I have ever heard.
I'm sorry. Can I just put things into perspective here? When I first caught Boris in 67, he was completely wild.
Wild? I was absolutely livid.
Well, clearly that's all changed now, because of course you've been brought up in the professor's house.
Yes, that's right. He's living with me, yes.
Though not in the biblical sense of
Yes, I was going to ask you actually, Boris, do you currently have a mate?
Oh yeah, I've got tons of mates. There's the professor, of course, and his son Toby. There's Trevor next door. Well, there's all sorts.
No, I was...
Oh, I see what you mean. You mean a crumpet. Do I have a crumpet?
You didn't tell me you were friendly with Trevor.
Well, do I have to tell you everything?
To come back to my earlier question, how, Professor, has Boris reacted to being separated from his family?
Well, to begin with, he did make some attempts to contact his old pack of bears.
Professor, please, it's a sleuth. A sleuth of bears. It's a pack of stoats.
He sent them the odd letter, but to be honest, I couldn't really see the point. I mean, they either ate them or wiped their bottoms on them.
No, you never got on with my mother, did you?
Well, she didn't exactly like me, did she?
She had no problem with David Attenborough.
David? Why over here is David bloody Attenborough?
Look, can we just leave Dave out of this?
Oh, shut up and eat some berries or something.
If I could just interrupt for 1 minute. Boris, I understand you've been earning some money doing TV commercials and so on.
Yes, that's right, yes.
What exactly do you spend your money on?
Well, I expect you're hoping that I say I spend it on salmon and marmalade and carpet cleaner.
No, not at all.
No, well I do spend about 95% of my money on those items, yes. But, the rest I save for little treats, little trinkets. I indulge myself occasionally. I do especially like the work of Michael Bublé.
You're not kidding, are you? White Christmas blaring out at all hours while I'm downstairs trying to do some work.
Look, the production values on that album are sublime.
This is my serious scientific project, and you behave like an absolute child.
Your project? Look, I went to evening classes for 3
Oh, shut up about your bloody evening classes, Boris.
As Aristotle once said, Lorem ipsum delor sit amen in
You arrogant little bastard, you're wrecking my life's work. Trampling around the garden, eating the begonias.
I do not eat begonias.
Well, somebody does, don't they?
Look, well, perhaps we could leave it there. Professor, Boris, thank you both very much indeed. Now, before we go to a commercial break, Boris, I believe you're actually partway through a lecture series of parochial Midlands villages.
Yes, that's correct, yes.
Could you perhaps give us a flavour?
Of course. Do you want to clear the chairs, guys, and we'll get